Hey everyone, this is Steve from GamersNexus.net, and once again at PAX Prime 2013, we just shot a video with these two guys right here about the Roswell Throne Industrial Mod. Check a link in the description below for that. And for now, this is actually a top-level overview of case modding, how you can get into it. If you're a system builder, you've liked modding but haven't ever done it, this is the video for you. So we'll start with you, Bob. Do you have any starting advice for system builders who really like looking at mods and want to do it but don't know where to start?
I think most people are probably most afraid of painting because there's just so many different things you can do, so many products you can use, and they just don't know where to start. And all I can say is really just start, just pick up a spray can and start from there. And whether you're spraying on some blank paper, some cardboard or whatever, that kind of thing, and then just kind of get the technique down. Also, there's a lot of YouTube videos, that kind of stuff, with helpful tips and that kind of thing, and just start from there. And and then as you progress, you might go buy a cheap actual spray gun and some cheap paint and just kind of keep progressing. And none of us were born modders, we all learned and started somewhere. So I just think that people shouldn't get discouraged, and they should just do something and just get started, make it small the first time, and if it's a pop can or a whatever, just start painting and see where it goes.
And what's the story for how each of you got started into modding? Well, we'll start with you this time.
I started seeing some mods at LAN parties. Darth Beavis had some pretty cool mods. I was like, wow, that doesn't look that hard to build. I want a cool computer that looks really awesome. So like $50 later, I'm cutting and filing and using a rattle can to spray paint something, and that's just how I got started.
And Bob, how about you?
Yeah, pretty much the same story. I had a Dell, a black plain old Dell desktop. I went to a LAN party the first time, and I saw Darth Beavis there, Richard Suros, and he had a couple cases, and so I saw those, and it was like one of those moments where the light goes on and you say, oh my god, I could do that too, and so that's kind of what started it, and then it just started steamrolling after that.
What were your first mods that you worked on, and are there any surviving pictures of them?
Actually, yeah, my first mod is still a favorite to some people, and it was a ant farm PC, and I had 300 live harvester ants that were living in the side panel. I had built a custom acrylic side panel that was kind of like a double pane window, and I had ant gel in there, and the ants would tunnel all the way through, and I had lighting inside the inside the case, so it would glow and you could see the ants running around and everything. And of course they don't live forever, so that one had to go away, but it was pretty neat. It was a fun build too.
Very cool. How about you, Rod?
The first build I did was a TRS-80 Model 3 made by Radio Shack in 1982, the year I was born. It was a little bit older, needed a little bit of upgrading, so it went from 64K of RAM up to 4 gigs, I think, at the time. It won a case mod competition at PDX LAN, and it's still in my spare bedroom today.
Very cool. Any advice on case selection for our modders or aspiring modders, I should say, when they're looking for a case to work on, something that's easy to jump into? Is there anything they should specifically avoid, or anything that they should be shopping for?
If they want to start out with something easy, I would naturally point them in the direction of a pretty plain case, with not a lot of different layers and little features that stick out and nooks and crannies and things, because that takes a lot more prep work if you're going to do some paint work. So something that's more flat and square, and then move into some of the more intricate designed cases where you may end up eventually doing some airbrush work and all the little details and stuff like that. So.
And Rod, any advice on case selection?
For sure, I would go with something inexpensive, so you're not afraid to cut it up and destroy it, because that's probably what you'll do, and it'll look awesome. And paint surface is important, so if it has a textured surface and you want it to be smooth, that textured surface could be a problem. So avoid something that's ultra complex, and think about what material it's made of as well. A lot of the plastic is ABS plastic, and then the case itself is usually made of aluminum or steel. But think about aluminum's harder, is easier to cut, but steel is a lot more resilient, so it's not, you won't bend and tweak it wrong when you're working on it.
And finally, any resources for our modders, what websites or other resources should they be looking into to get further support?
A great resource for help or answers to questions or just anything is always going to be some of the modding forums at different websites and things like that. We've got websites and our, with our emails, and we're very helpful, and most modders are very helpful, so we have the ability and the facilities to do everything, whether it's structural work, acrylic work, sheet metal work, welding, you name it. We, paint work, we do it all. So we've kind of been through just about everything you could think of that you might run up against and have a question on, and we're there to help. So it's free to ask questions. Give either one of us an email, and we'll help you out any way we can. So.
Awesome. Well, thanks again to both of you. Check out bsmods.com if you'd like to see some of their work and learn more about them. You can go to the link in the description below for our previous video on the Roswell Industrial Mod and, of course, full article coverage. And I will see you all next time. Peace.